Hey guys, my name is Kaushik and welcome back to Lambda Test. In this video, we are going to learn what is window handling, how to switch to a new tab, or how to interact with different types of tab. For example, we can have a simple pop-up, or else we can have this new window. So we are going to learn how to handle those. Let's get started now. So let us understand what is window handling. For example, most of the people get confused with the pop-up and the window pop-up. For example, when I click on this book demo button, you can see like we are getting some kind of like pop-up, right? So this is not your window handling concept. This doesn't comes under the window handling concept. This is just a model alert. We can say we can just interact with this without switching our focus to different tabs. But when we have something like this, for example, when I click on this follow on Twitter button, you can see like we are getting a separate tab. So this tab or window both are technically same in terms of browsers. So we can just call it like a tab or a window. Okay, so technically both are same, don't get confused. But this one is different. This is your window, not window, I mean this is your pop-up model, whereas this is your window tab or a separate window. Okay, so this is just like the basic, we are getting one tab at a time. But if I click on this, for example, if I click on this particular button, you can see like we are getting multiple tabs as well, right? So here we can see the Facebook page, and here we can see the Twitter, and if I click on this follow all, you can see like we are getting another tab as well. So this is our Lambda Test website, this is our Twitter, and this is our Lambda Test Facebook page, right? So we can handle one or more tabs or more windows at the same time. It's going to be very simple, and comparatively it is very similar to Selenium, but in Selenium we have like switch to driver.switch to window, we have that function. But here we don't have to do switch, rather we can get the page context, and based on the page context we can switch to different tabs. Now one more confusion will be there in Playwright, that window handling concept and the browser context concept both are same. I mean both are very different, don't get confused, both are very different. Okay, so when I say browser context, that will have its cookies, its cache, its sessions, all the stuff. Okay, but when I switch to a new context, there the previous context won't share any data. So I will talk about that more in detail in our next video. Today we are going to focus on the window handling concept. Let's get started now. So we have a package called window handling, and within that we have a class called learn window handling, and of course we are using the main function, but maybe in future we can go with the testng as well. So first of all we have to launch the Playwright instance. So for that we can say like playwright dot create, which is going to give me the Playwright instance, and from there I can say like playwright dot chromium dot launch, which is going to give me the browser. So from the browser I can say, let me rename this to browser. So from the browser I can go with either new context or new page directly. I will tell you the difference in the next video, and this is going to return me the page reference. Now with the help of page, of course we can navigate to a particular site. So here we will give our demo page, and then I'm going to click on this particular button, right? So let's go and inspect this one, and here we can see like it's within the a tag, that means it's a linked text. So if it's linked text, we can just use the get by text, that will be very easy. So here I can say like page dot get by text and the text, and of course we are going to perform the click action here. Okay, so once I do the click action, we are going to get the new page, new window, new tab, right? So for that, of course, we are going to use the listeners concept here. So for example, I can say like page dot wait for pop-up, and then of course we have to use the lambda expressions, and here semicolon. So we are going to wait for the pop-up. When we are going to get the pop-up, in the sense like when I click on this particular button or the link, so this is going to return me the new page. So we can name this like pop-up for now. Okay, now I just want to print the pop-up title, so I can do like sysout then followed by pop-up dot title, which is going to return me the title. Okay, so if you want to close the pop-up, you can call the functions like pop-up dot close, and then of course we have to close the Playwright as well, but we'll do that later. Let's go and execute this. So this is kind of like your activating things. For example, here we are waiting for a pop-up. When the pop-up will comes, in the sense like when we do the click action here, so then it is going to return me the new tab reference, and from there I can do the actions. Now if you go to our console, you can see like we got a blank console because the title is not print. But you might ask me, hey Kaushik, I didn't also see the browser because it's running in the headless mode. So if I want to run in head mode, then I can say like new, then followed by launch options, then followed by dot set headless, and I'm not getting any suggestions because I have to import this. So you can just give Ctrl+1 and enter, then it will be imported, and then you can use like false. Okay, now here is one issue. For example, if I go and open this particular tab, you can see like the page will load, but when it loads for the first time, there won't be any title. So it's basically like your dynamic thing. So it will load and then it will give us the title. So how to solve it is very simple. First of all, we'll say like popup dot wait for load state. That means we'll wait until the page loads completely. Okay, now if I go and run this time, you can see like we are going to get the page title. Okay, so here you can see like I just open the lambda test Twitter the tab, and if I go here, you can see like we are getting the text as Twitter, but I mean the page title as Twitter. But if you go and see here, it's basically like your Twitter and then followed by lambda test. So we can wait until the page title changes. So this is your kind of dynamic concept from this particular page. So if I have to handle this in Selenium, I will go with the explicit wait. We can achieve the same in Playwright as well, but that is not necessary. A better way to handle this is basically using the assertion. So of course we are going to use the assert to do the verification, right? So for example, if I go and click on this, I know that it's going to give us something like lambda test and something. So I can just go and inspect. I can grab the page title. So if I go here and if I go to the head, if I go to the title, yeah, so here you can see we're getting this. I'm just going to copy that, and here I'm going to use the web first assertion of Playwright. So for example, I can say like playwright dot assertion, yeah. So I have to do this import, and let's make it like static import, and here I want this particular function. Okay, and here I can say simply like once the page, we will wait for the page to load, then we are going to type the print the title. Before that, I'm just going to use like assert that, and then followed by the page, and then followed by the has title function as title, and then followed by the string. Okay, so that means we are using the web first assertion from Playwright. So it will wait until that particular title is going to change, and then we are printing. So of course we'll get the same. Okay, now just to make sure, we are going to also print the main page title here. So page dot title. So this is our like the first sysout statement is as like our main page, and this is our pop-up window page. Okay, so you might ask me, hey Kaushik, you said that pop-up is different and the tab is different. Why are you using pop-up here? So here pop-up in the sense like the particular page that is opening, not the book demo pop-up. Okay, so this one is different. This is not your window. This is your HTML pop-up, whereas this particular guy is your window pop-up. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand. And if I go, I'm able to see some error, and it says like receive Selenium grid online. Okay, yeah, because I have used the page, but of course we know that that particular title is different, right? So here you can see like Selenium grid on, this is the main page title. Here we are checking for the lambda test, which is the pop-up title, right? So we can just replace this with pop-up. That's it. Now let's go and run. So in Selenium, we have to do the switching concept. So we'll have like only one driver object, and based on that we have to do the switching, and we can use the driver object anywhere. But in Playwright it's very simple. So if you want to interact with this pop-up, you can go and interact. If you want to interact with the main page at the same time, of course you can do that. How? It's very simple. For example, here if I go and so here you can see like we got the exact title. Okay, so let me close this very quickly. Yeah, so for example, I have the pop-up access here, and if I want to do something with the page, of course I can do like page.click. I can pass the element. All the steps are possible. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand. I just have given the demo for the title, but of course, you know, based on the pop-up you can find any element. For example, I can say like popup dot locator, some locator, and then followed by like if you want to get the text content, if you want to do the click action, probably you can do everything. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that very quickly. For example, if I go and inspect this guy, let's say we are going to click on this particular thing called the link text, I guess it's a, yeah, it's a basically the link text, I guess. So I can just yeah, login is the text, so I can just grab this. Okay, so for example, let me popup dot get by text, not testd, it should be text, and it's login, and I'm going to do the click action. Okay, so once I do the click action, you can see the page title turns to login to Twitter, right? So yeah, but we can see that visually as well. So let's go and run this. Let's see. So here you can see like we got the login page because the login element is key. This is how you have to interact with the tabs. Okay, so this is very simple concept. Of course, we have only one tab, so we are able to handle it. But how I will handle if I have multiple tabs? For example, if I go to the page and if I go and click on this follow all, you can see like we are getting like 1, 2, and 3. So we are getting totally like 3. Let's see how to handle this as well. Okay, it's going to be very simple actually, but we have to use the pop-up option. Let me show you that. Okay, so let it be here. So I'm just going to comment this code for now, and here, so first of all we'll say like page dot get by text, and the text is follow all. Okay, you can inspect, that is recommended, but sometimes you can just type as well. Yeah, so when I click on this particular guy, it is going to give me all the pages, all the pop-ups, right? So of course I have to use the page for wait for pop-up. So here I will say like page dot wait for pop-up, and then the lambda expressions, and we'll move this here. Okay, so this is going to return me all the pop-up. So I can just store this here, like it's going to be my, like, let's name it like tabs. Okay, so it's going to return me the tabs, but I want to know how many tabs it have opened, right? So for that, what we can do is we can simply say like tabs dot context, and from the context we'll get all the pages, which is going to return me the list of pages. Okay, so here I can just sys out like pages dot size. So it's a list. Of course we know the list interface function. Size means it's going to return the number of tabs open. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Observe carefully what happens. So it clicked on this follow all, and you can see like we got like 3 pages. Okay, so but if I go and here you can see like of course we got the same answer like 3. Okay, now one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to print all the page title. So here we have this pages, right? So what can I do is I can simply say like pages dot for each, which is going to return me one tab at a time, and from that tab I'm going to just print the page title. So tab dot title. Okay, so yeah, let's see how we are going to get all the tabs. Okay, so if I go and see here, you can see like we got this time 2. So previously we got 3, this time we got 3. Why this is happening in the sense like because the load issue. Okay, so when the page loads a bit slower, it basically doesn't give us all the titles or all the correct size. So what we can do is we can use the wait for pop-up options. For example, here I can say like new, then followed by page dot wait for pop-up option, and then I can use the function called dot set predicate, where we are going to say set predicate, and here we are going to say like how many pages are going to or tabs are going to open, and we are going to wait for that. So for example, here I can simply say like I am expecting 3 pages to wait. Okay, so here I can say like page dot context. From the context I can get all the pages, and I'm expecting the size to be 3. Okay, so and of course I have to return this, so I can just remove the curly braces over here, and it should be double equals. I'm going back to the JavaScript. Yeah, okay, so this is the syntax. So basically like let me explain it very clear to you. Okay, so this is our lambda expressions, where we are saying like we want to click on this. So once we click on this, we are just waiting for the pop-up options, and we are using the predicate in the sense like it will wait until this particular things is going to result. That means here we are using the context. So similarly here also we have used the context, right? So context means it will tell us from the context how many pages are there. So here you can see like we are saying the same pages dot context dot pages dot size, and if it's 3, then we will return or we'll get these tabs, and from the tabs I can just use. Okay, even if I have to precise, I can also say like tab dot wait for load state. That means like it will wait until the page is also going to load. Okay, I'm just going to run this and let's see. So if you do not know about the JavaScript, the lambda expressions, the predicate, you might find this little difficult to code, but I think you should start learning the lambda expressions and everything. So here you can see like we got our size as 3, and also we are getting all the particular the title. So yeah, that's it. That is how you have to handle a single tab or a single window, or else this is how we can handle the multiple. Now of course you might have doubt like, hey Kaushik, you're just doing the loop and you're printing, but what if I want to interact? So it's going to be very simple. So basically we are getting the list of pages, right? So for example, I can say like pages dot get of 0. That means it's going to return me the first window, and then I can say like, let's assume that Facebook is going to be my first window, so I'll just name it like FB page. And similarly, if I'm going to get the Twitter page, let's name it like TW, and that's going to be my first tab. Okay, so 0, 1, and the last tab is basically your lambda test page. Okay, now you might also ask me, how do you know whether it's a 0 or not? So of course you can write a if condition. You can just change the value. For example, okay, let me show you. So for example, I can simply say like if the pages of get 01 dot title is going to dot equals, you can say like dot equals, or also we can say like dot, and so it's something like that. And what was the title? Not this one, I guess. Yeah, if it's going to be this lambda test, let's just focus on the Twitter probably. So I can simply say like Twitter, then I can just assign this, right? So that is how we usually do. So here I can just create this one, and if it's Twitter, then of course I can say like I can do this here. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand this now, or else it's going to be like your, I can write a else condition, or else it's going to be like your FB page, where it's going to be like pages dot get of 0. Okay, so that's very simple. So we'll just check the title, and based on the title we will have, and you're getting compilation error. Let me finish it off. Yeah, so that's it. This is very simple. So I hope you are able to understand this, and this is we are getting warning. We can just yeah, so basically once I use this, that will suppress the things. So if we page.url, and yeah, that's it. So this is how we have to use, and let it make it learn so that we won't get any exception here. Okay, so we can check the condition, and based on the conditions we can trigger. And mostly don't worry about this, we won't get much multiple pages on the same website. Mostly it will be like one. In worst case scenario it will be 2. This is just for demo, so I'm just using multiple things to make you understand, but this is the proper example. This is what we face in our real-time example. If you are getting more than 2, then of course you should talk to your UI UX designer and probably ask to change the implementation, because that is the worst case scenario. As a user, I will not prefer to work on multiple tabs. There might be situations where I have to, but most of these situations I will be avoiding that. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand the concept. Let me give you a quick recap. So first of all, we are going to use the page.waitForPopup. That means we'll wait when there is a pop-up. So here we are just doing the click action on a particular element, and we are getting the pop-up. From the pop-up we'll wait until the pop-up loads, and then we will just do whatever the stuff we want to do. And of course always you can say like for example, if I uncomment this, if you want to close that particular pop-up, you can say like popup.close, and at the end of the script, of course you should always close the Playwright so that it will release all the resources, or else it will be running in the background. Okay, so yeah, that's it from my side. If you have any queries, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll be happy to reply. Tada, bye bye, take care.